What's up guys, welcome to Wasted Space, and we're back in Space Engineers, and as I suggested in my last video, we are moving away from things with wheels on, onto things with gravity blocks on. And much like with my sort of previous mini-series, or whatever one you call them, we're going to start off relatively simple, and things will just get more complex as we go. So, first things first, what have we got today? We have one of these, which is essentially an ore cannon. So I was looking for a simple solution, much like with my cargo transport that I built before, for getting ore back from a remote mining location, e.g. here, down to our main base way over there. So what's that? Almost 2,000 meters away. And this is what I've come up with. Really straightforward, and I'm sure plenty of other people have done something similar. So I've lined up the connectors here with some collectors on the far end back at the main base, which you can't quite see. And then back here we just got a couple of gravity generators in order to trigger the firing of the cannon, essentially. So once these are turned on to throw out, which we will do now. So we go to the ore gun, click throw out, and everything that's currently in the inventory will now be fired off, and this stuff maintains its path really well. So through the magic of editing, I can hopefully show on the far end of things stuff arriving into the collectors at the far end. All lined up nicely, really neat, efficient, low use, low material way of getting stuff back. The only slight difficulties with it, firstly, don't get in the way of this ore. Yes, you will damage yourself if you get in the way of that stuff. Secondly, obviously it took quite a bit of trial and error to line this up with the receiver on the far end, and the easiest way to do that, trust me, is to build a connector on the other end of things and shoot rock in this direction slowly and go and follow it and see where it ends up. That way you're not firing rock randomly at your base to see what happens. So really straightforward first idea, but that's not where I'm going to end it for this one, because there's also now a second idea. So if I just turn that off so it's not spewing ore out over space. Ore gun, throw out off. Very straightforward to turn it on and off as well. And of course, in this sort of scenario, it could be a mining platform. You could just be bringing your big, heavy, slow-moving, large mining ship back to base, ready to sort of unload ore and then get back to mining again without having to worry about going all the way back and manually putting it in yourself. So if I just go in here, I'm going to grab some ore out of this, and we're in creative mode so that I can do what I'm about to do, because what we have over here is what I like to call the rock shotgun. So yeah, you can probably guess as to its function. Obviously it's Space Engineers. Once you've got an idea, you end up weaponizing it if you can. So let's just load her up. Ooh, bit of magnesium in there. So what we have here, relatively straightforward again, simple idea, and I'm sure plenty of other people have done this too, but we come down into the chamber. This is what you might want to call the breech of the gun. So we have a whole bunch of connectors ready to throw out ore into this sort of central area, and it's all angled so that when you turn on the gravity generators, it will fire out of the end here. And fortunately, because it's such a short distance between here and these walls, it hasn't accelerated enough to cause any damage in here. So once that's the inside of there, and sort of basically the rest of the ship is literally just the plumbing necessary to hook all these things up back to this cargo container, and then the engines you need to fly. So yes, I can now skip forward to some footage where this is actually sort of in position to fire, because aiming this from this far away is not really going to work. So now we're a bit more in position. Let me bring up the UI so you can see what's going on. So first things first, and this can be done on the move. There are kind of two firing modes for this, but the one I prefer, and the one that seems to do the most noticeable damage, is line yourself up in position. This is definitely a base platform attack sort of weapon. So get ourselves in position. I've turned on that main connector now, so it's loading the breech underneath us. And then when you deem the breech to be sufficiently loaded, this is probably enough now. Turn that off and just hit 2. Boom, and you see the ship move and the shotgun fires, and there's a big mess at the far end. So let's just take a second shot a bit lower down. That one wasn't very well aimed. So load her up. He's chucking it out. Doom, doom, and fire. There. Simple concept, and I can just drop into the barrel here. There'll probably be a few bits of ore just kicking around in here. There's some doesn't, not all of it ends up getting fired out, but as you can see in here, no damage at all. Everything completely intact. However, at the far end of the barrel, I'm pretty certain the same is not going to be true. Oh dear. It does these really interesting damage where it's like, how did it even hit this bit of it from over there? I don't know. But the carnage it causes when it does, I'd say that's pretty impressive. Admittedly, everything gets compared to rockets, and rockets are a little bit overpowered, but there you go. I was thinking potentially even of scaling this up. Obviously, this can be as big as you might like it to be. Let's just jump in for one final shot. Gravity off. Aim her a bit lower still. Anything left in the inventory? No, that'll be it then. Fire. So, there you go. Something a little bit silly, but yeah, my first go at doing something with gravity instead of something more mechanical. Hope you found that useful, guys. Hope you found that interesting. If you did, please hit that like button, hit subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out. And if you've got any ideas for what I could do with gravity, funky things you'd like to see, please hit me up in the comments. I'd be really interested in hearing it and really interested to get some of you guys' ideas. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will catch you next time.